Well, I wish I could give you the tea, but mine's just a little bit tart, and that's why it's called Leah's Lemonade. Excited to be here, okay, with everything legendary. And when I say everything is legendary, I mean it. Duane, Danita, how y'all been?
Man, we blessed, good. Man. We feel legendary today, man. We want to thank you, first of all, for being the first media outlet to always, you know what I'm saying, show us love. You had just a phenomenal 2022. I saw you doing big things. You know what I'm saying? Had some big names on there. And, just thank you because you've been rocking with us since about, 2019, 2020 when it was like early on. And, you know what I'm saying? Just thank you for always being there for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have to say this. I'm extremely proud of y'all. I remember when you coming in here, you like, yo, I got one of the most incredible vegan burgers you ever gonna have. And I remember my coworker coming in here was like, y'all want to try? I said, y'all, I don't like vegan stuff. I'm gonna be honest. I do not want to eat this burger because I don't want a lot of this, man, if this burger is not good. Okay? You came in here and I was chewing and I was like,
this is good.
Damn, he on to something. Okay? Because it was so good. And, I just watched you, again, going from cooking in a kitchen to going to Shark Tank to then being all over the United States. Yeah. So, first of all, before we even get into y'all's journey, I heard there's big news with Bowie State.
Yeah.
BSU.
I'm going to let her get the news because, that's her school.
Okay. Let's get into it. Okay. Happy Black History Month.
Okay.
It's Danita coming from BSU.
Okay.
But I was a GG, so this is an honor to have a partnership with Bowie State University.
Oh.
We will be serving our burgers, our ground, in the caf. So it'll be open to the students at BSU.
Wow, I love to see it. Talk about, and to your point, it's Black History Month. Y'all are both HBCU graduates.
Yes.
Why was it important when your company finally partnered with a school, when you started to get your product into these universities? Why was it important to go with Bowie, one of the oldest HBCUs in Maryland, but also an HBCU? Because I'm sure with the type of success y'all had, y'all could have been in any PWI, to be honest.
Yeah.
Why was it important?
That's a great question.
That's
authentic,
our roots too.
Authentic. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's home. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not a food service company. Like, we manufacture food. Like, our products are sold in over 5,000 good stores, like, nationwide. So, when it came to going into the food service market, we wanted to go where we're at home. You know, like, we are graduates of HBCUs, Bowie State University, Howard University, Morgan State University. We're in Greek life, a.k.a. Kappa Alpha Psi. So, this was about going to someplace that, meant something to us. And then more, it's about our community. You know what I'm saying? For like, when are we going to start supporting us? Every other race support their own race.
Yeah,
like everybody else. Everybody else does that, fully. But when are we going to start doing that for us?
Absolutely.
And so this was big to me because African Americans are the fastest growing population when it comes to vegans in the world. But there are hardly no manufacturers of plant-based food that are African Americans. We are the largest one in the country by far. You know what I mean? But so it was very, very big for us to say, listen, if we're going to do this, it's about kids having healthy options, but we're going to go to Bowie State University first because that's home. That's our backyard.
Yeah, that's
we're
our
from
roots.
Prince George's County. You know what I mean? So it's about being someplace that is, completely authentic. That's where we're at home. That's the place we are, we can walk the walk, and can't no one do that better than us.
Yeah. I would love, congratulations to Bowie, but like you said, it's other HBCUs. I would love to see a Howard.
It's coming.
Okay,
It's
HU,
coming.
that's
It's
my
coming.
other alma mater,
Howard is
HU,
coming.
Come
on, Howard. Sodexo up there. Come on now.
Okay, And listen, I'm just so proud of you, and I told you
Thank
this in
you.
person, but I have to say this publicly as well, because again, I do remember you just coming in here and being so passionate about it, and literally passing out burgers, word of mouth. And I remember starting to tell people, hey, y'all know everything legendary down there. That's like, it's good. Somebody was like, no, I heard because I had it and it was good. And again, it really started as this like grassroots word of mouth vegan burger that has just like expanded. So then y'all get on Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that experience because y'all left with a deal.
Yeah.
And I mean, since then it is just it's been absolutely bananas. So talk to me about Shark Tank and what people don't know about it.
This is the first time people have actually ever really asked me that question. So I'm actually going to talk about it, like in some depth. But Shark Tank came along. This is like the true story. I was at home watching TV. I was probably watching Harry Potter because, I'm a big Harry Potter.
And I was at work.
And it came on the TV and it said, apply for Shark Tank Season 12. Mm-hmm. There's no secret about Shark Tank. There's no hidden thing whatsoever. I literally just went on the website and applied. Wow. Now, we had a standard how we did things was that whenever they asked us to submit something, because I always figured there were other people, right? Like, I had to be put in some type of cohort, right? Yeah. So if they asked that, like, something was due on Friday, we would turn it on Wednesday, so we were always one step ahead of everything. Wow. So when we actually got selected, we actually started to practice. And we were doing like 3 a day. No, I mean like
yeah, like, you know, we was in the gym.
Like, you know, I'm a cap or whatever. So I mean, like, we was like, you know, doing push-ups. We was, you know what I'm saying, like in the kappa chair. Like, you know, they would ask me questions, and if I got them wrong, I had to do 10. And like, we were really, really like preparing ourselves over and over again. And when we went on the show, you know, like I told the whole team, I was like, 2 things. Number one, Honey has us, which is her mom who had like passed away, who had told us that like we were going on like Shark Tank. So I said, yo, Honey got us. And then I was like, number 2, I'm not here for no participation awards. I'm not here about. He
didn't let me talk to anyone.
I was
there.
like, yeah, we're not talking to nobody. We're not doing it. I said, you know, I'm ready to die for this. Either I'm gonna get in the deal or that's it. Yeah. And we like going there, and you know, we had one of the highest rated episodes in like Shark Tank history, season 12, episode 15. Wow. Mark Cuban gave us a deal, and then it just took off. You know what I'm saying? Since then, we ended up closing our Series A funding round. We raised $7.5 million for the company. Wow. That was about 9 months later. And our partners were Circle Up, General Mills, and Live Nation. We are the official plant-based burger for Live Nation House of Blues. Most of their festivals, concerts, House of Blues. So, I mean, we're just so blessed. But, you know, we got the like distribution, so you can get our products inside of Safeway here, selective Targets, Whole Foods, Sprouts. Nationwide, it goes to Publix. It goes to, that list goes on, Acme. You know, you can go to our website, golegendary.com, social media, go_legendary, and but it all came from Shark Tank. But Shark Tank, what I will say is that we were on set for literally like an hour and 15 minutes. Wow. And that's what people don't know.
It may have been longer than that.
Yeah, it like may have been longer than that. Like, you're on set really getting drilled really for like an hour 15.
Wow.
And Mr. Wonderful is just the same in person.
Oh, okay. So they were trying to get you up.
Yeah, no, really. Like that's not, you know what I'm saying, stage or anything. It's really going down for like a very long time. And, you know, people get into it. I mean, like other people are upset. Some people have tears coming out of that because, you know, people are betting everything. But the next part is after Shark Tank, which is called due diligence. And that is where things go left for a lot of people because, you know, as like Mark would say, you know, you'll tell me anything right now for an hour to get this money. But when they do due diligence, you know, make sure that your taxes had to be in order, make sure there's no liens on anything. Like, they're going to check those sales numbers, everything. That's where so many companies, you know what I'm saying, fall off. And just to be completely honest and like transparent, I know like I had to get my taxes in order. You know what I'm saying? I had to get my credit in order because I was an entrepreneur for like so long. Yeah. And that was one of my irresponsibilities. Like, I didn't have that together. You know what I'm saying? Like, my credit score was like saying WTF. Like, I didn't have a number out this thing. You know what I mean? Because I was the grinding entrepreneur. But I think that's a part of this whole situation is that, you know, you have to have that grinder, but then you always... Somebody has to be the other side. Like, Danita was the white horse. She was the one who was at work. She was the one who had the credit score. She was the one who had more of the savings. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the team part that hold this thing work together.
But I bet it's all on us.
Yeah, and now we just keep going. But
yeah, no, and that's incredible too because I think that, you know, again, we live in this social media world where everybody telling you to be an entrepreneur and quit your 9 to 5 and do this.
Yeah, you cut them lies right there. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, that's the sad thing about social. Sorry to cut you off with that. That just it's something that burns my heart so much. Is that, you know what I'm saying? It's people are just giving misinformation. Now, listen, let me tell everybody right now, man. Yo, keep your 9 to 5 up until the very, very end, and until we had to sign, and you know what I'm saying, contracts to say that we cannot work for, you know what I'm saying, anything else with our series and stuff. Danita kept her job up until the end.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, that was...
And it hurt me to leave, too, but I knew he needed the support. He needed me to be locked in on the company, so I had to go.
And it's still hard. You know what I mean? I don't think people realize, like, how difficult it is to this day. Like, we still need more customers. We still need people to go to the grocery store. We like, still need people to like, understand. Again, I say every single day, I wake up and think of 2 things. How to make my product better and how to get more customers. Yeah. Because it's this thing called velocity in the grocery stores, okay? That's what you're really judged on. How many units are being scanned every single week. Mm-hmm. And they pull that report. And, you know, the only way for us to stay in the grocery store is if we continue to support the grocery store. Mm-hmm. If that doesn't happen, and I always say it, like, our community, and I'm going to say this over and over again, we're the only community that does not support our own community like everybody else. Because everybody else does it times 10. But we have that lacking right there. I don't know if it's the crabs in the barrel syndrome or just, not having access to what we have. But, I have nothing but like humility to say, we always need people's help. Like we're trying to get there.
And we're thankful for all the people that have already supported us, but we need more. We got to get them to the stores.
And I was going to say, honestly speaking, when we talk about just like history with black folk and food and healthy food, there's a disconnect, right? Yeah. So, I think that it's important to see a black family showing the world like this is a product made by us, for us, to consume, and then now we're putting it in HBCUs, and now we're moving into all these different venues. It's so important. Again, if I can go to a Live Nation concert and have a vegan burger, if I can go see Future, and then maybe I have my drink, but I can balance it out by having an Everything Legendary burger, there's balance. Yeah. So I think it's so important that you guys are doing that work, because this really came as a passion project to you about health. Talk to people about the origin of Everything Legendary.
Yeah, man. It's a this came because of my mom's illness. Like, my mom battled with lupus for 35 years. She was a strict vegan for 30. Unfortunately, she just lost her life October 25th. Wow. So that was very, very tough for us. But that's where it all came from, is that, my mom is very, she was very, she's all about, like, you are what you eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you put in your system is the most important thing. At the time, Danita's mom was, going through her final transition of like cancer, and we were trying to get her on a healthy regimen, and they were close. And my mom would tell her stuff, and she just didn't like the way it tasted. So that was like that last push. Wow. And so we wanted to come together and create something that was healthy but also tastes good. And one thing that we stand on, all of our products are like soy free. I would never touch soy. That just would not happen. Chef inspired ingredients. We stand off the fact that everything on that list, like ingredients, a 7-year-old can like pronunciate it. Yeah. This is not Jurassic Park. You know what I mean? So a lot of times you see these companies and they're like in the science trying to, like in a lab trying to do something. This is not scientific. Food should be made inside of a kitchen and not inside of a lab. So that's where the passion came from. And then from that, it was about making something that's flavorful and that was healthy. This is about health disease. This is about blood pressure. This is about those type of things. One of my biggest pet peeves, honestly, with most vegan restaurants is the sodium levels. Like the first thing people do when they go to most of these like vegan care is they're seasoned up because they're trying to get you to like like how the food tastes. Mm-hmm. So that's why our food is pre-seasoned. Like, anybody ever see me make a burger, you don't see me put anything on it. Like, nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's a pre-seasoned patty. Our sodium level is considered healthy. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to the brand, we check off all the health conscious check box that you need. Yeah. But our brand is just cooler because that's who we are. Like, I was in a meeting today, like a straight like investors meeting, and one thing I said in the pitch that I always say is that if you look at this space, you have scientists on one end of the table and you have billionaires on the other, like on the other end. In the middle is where everything is. Everything legendary lies. We're the coolest brand, we're energetic, we're bold, we're different, and we have a true passion from, like, our parents passed away. You know what I mean? So, like, there's a deeper mission on saying that we have to keep on doing this and, like, keep on doing this. But that's where it came from, and I'm very blessed. And I know that her mother and her father and, like, my mom are just looking over, looking down on us, make sure we're doing well. And I just pray that, that they're proud of what we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I wholeheartedly know they are, because I'm so proud. Again, it just, watching y'all on Shark Tank and then just watching what you've done, because to your point, you can get on Shark Tank, but will you be successful after that? And we've watched your business grow, mature, and just move in a way that, I don't even think y'all probably could have imagined when y'all started this business.
No, man, like, we always talk, like, we go back to the, doing pop-ups on the corner, like Jordan. Like,
we got robbed. And he made me go right back outside the next day. It was like, you better get back out there. Right by the Yes Market on, like, Georgia Avenue. Like, we got robbed at a pop-up. I mean, we've done pop-ups, in the snow, in the cold. It was just, her and I. So, I'm just thankful to have such a great partner. We like really grinded this whole thing out. We was flipping burgers in the kitchen, packaging them in the garage. We were doing everything for every single customer who like stuck with us when orders was getting messed up. Thank you. Because a lot of times people get bashed. Like, oh, I'm not gonna go to this company no more because they had a bad week. Like, you guys, it's very, very hard for the people that go inside of like grocery stores and say they can't find the product. Yo, thank you, but again, we hire merchandisers. Like, people have to understand that. Like, the most frustrating thing in the world is for you to, know what the problem is, have a solution for the problem, and it's still a problem.
Yeah.
You know, so we're constantly trying every single day. So thank you everyone who was just patient with us. You know what I mean? Because we work every day to make sure our product is on shelf, that it's not out of stock, that it's not at the bottom of the shelf, that it's at eye level. You know, all those type of things you have to think about when it comes to retail. All of those matter, right? You know, all those things matter, but we work very hard for it.
Yeah, yeah. And again, people don't even think about it. You just think of going in the store and grabbing something.
Exactly.
And it's so much more than that. And so it's just so impressive. And I also got to give y'all a little shout out because after Shark Tank, y'all sold $250,000.
Yeah, we did.
Y'all, I mean, again, it's just insane to me. You know, the success that you have. And one thing I've noticed about you, just even from social media, y'all are in the grocery stores every day. Y'all are in these meetings. And again, people who have had your type of success, you think that they are in that, like, I'm going to sit and chill type of mode. What does a day-to-day look like for the CEOs of everything?
They usually start about 4:30 a.m. That's when we usually start, like, have our
He wakes me up to talk about something about business.
Yeah, so they usually start about 4:30 a.m. From then, my first phone call is with Vince Parker. That's our like COO. We talk every single morning at like 9 a.m. in the morning standard. First thing to do, check on the family, make sure everybody's good. Mental health is, you know what I'm saying, very important. Mm-hmm. And then we jump right into it. If it's not meetings, it's actually going to the stores to actually go check on the product, meeting with like different meat managers, meeting with like store managers, making sure our like merchandising is like done well. Conversation with like R&D, go over marketing stuff. Currently right now we're getting ready for like festival season. So we're starting to plan that out. We'll be at Rolling Loud LA, which is March 3rd through the 5th. But what comes up prior to that is Super Bowl. So we leave on Tuesday to go to Super Bowl. We're having a party with Rat Snacks at the Biltmore Hotel. So we'll usually go over all those type of things. So yeah, it goes from going to the store, product development, marketing, and then usually I'll usually end it with like sales, and then more like innovation. I'm a very big numbers person, which makes it very difficult because that stresses you out so much. You know, because I'm like looking at the trends. I'm like, you know, I see everybody liking this on social media, but are they going to the grocery store?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Is it translating?
Yes, right. You know, and then we have to deal with that, and you know, and then Fridays, you know, board meetings and board calls. You know, Mark Cuban is probably the most.
It was the laugh together for me.
I already knew he was going there.
You know, he's so great.
Yeah,
he's so great, and what I mean by that is like, you know, for someone to be at his level and to be so busy, you know, if you send Mark Cuban like an email right now, he's going to respond within like the next 10 minutes, and it's going to be detailed.
Wow, it's
going to be like a very, very detailed questions, answers. Let me get to it. I'm always like available. So that just shocks me so much because, you know, he has a portfolio of companies, and you know, we're an early stage company still.
Yeah.
We're growing. We're the babies out of the whole like portfolio.
Right.
And so for him to be someone who gives us that much attention and answer those questions, and it's just great. And I can honestly say he's never been wrong. The things that we thought that we were right on, he was completely right. You know, when I was hard headed on some things, but yeah, he's you know.
Yeah, and I was gonna ask that. What are those things that you take from somebody like a Mark Cuban and implement in your own business? Obviously, you have the mentorship, and you know, on Shark Tank they give you the money or the percentage for their percentage. But like, what is it like to have a shark? Because again, everybody sees this show and is like, I want to be on Shark Tank. I gotta be. Listen, I have a thought like once a day, and I'm like, I should start the business and go on Shark Tank because Shark Tank actually is one of my favorite shows. Yeah. So you know, what is it like to really have a shark on board? Because people talk, you know, when you're in that, people once you get a deal and people start arguing about why you should pick them, they all say different things. But what is it like to have Mark Cuban in your corner?
It's great to have Mark Cuban in your corner, but I mean, I'll be real, it's just extremely difficult. I think you like talked about it earlier, that social media makes everything look great. If people actually knew what it takes to be an entrepreneur, 99% of people would not be.
It's so hard.
I mean, but we lie because we want to live in this world and make it seem like it's all fun and dandy, and like, you know, being an entrepreneur just means you're the biggest like employee in the world. I'm the biggest employee in the world. Like, I'm a boss. No, I'm not. I have to serve everybody. Everybody else is
and it's hard. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, but it's a lot of resources, but it's also, you know, it's nerve wracking. It's, you know what I'm saying, like competition is like real because again, there's like portfolios, and you know, they're not here to hold your hand. You have to understand one thing, like, people invest in you because they feel as though that you have something like you have that
right,
that like no one else can figure out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So we invested in you for that. So you have to go prove that now.
And they're not going to hold your hand.
Yeah, like no one's holding your hand. No one's, let's just get this out of there right now. Mark's not calling up Target saying, yo, let me go get this contract.
Yeah.
We have to put in the
You
work.
got to go get it. Like I can let me give you a real example, right? This is just so real. I'm sure like this is real. Like Mark hates people who pay for PR. You know what Mark told me when I told him like what PR costs? Like how much I was about to pay?
It was a waste.
He said, so you don't know how to write a paragraph now?
Who?
You don't know how to pick up the phone?
Straight like that.
And get stuff done? So this was when I was going over my budget, right? Like last year, going into my budget. Matter of fact, I actually say the real numbers out here. Like, let's get some truth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what PR at that level probably costs about $8,000 a month, right?
Yeah.
$8,000 a month. That's just a real, price someone gives me, right? They looked at me like I was insane. So all of a sudden, you don't know how to write? You don't know how to use Word?
You can't put a paragraph together?
And you don't have your contacts anymore? And then here's the pinch of truth. I run into you at Sobeys restaurant because I put in the work back in the day.
Yeah.
This is exactly what he's talking about right here.
Yeah.
This is exactly what he's talking about right now. You don't have your resources anymore, so all of a sudden, Meek Mill said it, you know what I'm saying, best. You know what I'm saying? I'm type to get this bad and, you know what I'm saying, then ground like I'm broke.
Yeah.
When you get invested in, you have to keep the ground like you're broke.
You do.
Because if not, you're just going to burn it all up and like, yo, they're not for that whatsoever. So like, we still have that same, like, the same thought. Ground like you broke. I'm not, let me put this out there. Yo, no one PR called me. Let me just put it out there, everybody. You can say that phone call. Like, it's not happening because they look at it like, yo, when did you forget how to do this type of stuff? And really, if you're really that great, that media outlet will definitely come find you.
Yeah.
You don't gotta go do anything like that. Like if you put that work in, then they're gonna come find you. So that's what
Yeah, and with that said, the grind, I mean, you guys have seen so much success. Obviously, y'all are still working every day. What is a goal? What is something that you all want to see manifested in 2023? Now, y'all ain't got to share if y'all don't want to, because I do believe in keeping some things private. But if there's a goal that you could share, because one thing about it is I've just watched God spin the block for y'all. Yeah. So I know that there will eventually be a day we come back and sit down again, and what we talked about in 2023 will have happened. So what is that goal for y'all?
Number one thing right now for us is, you know what I'm saying, like food service. Our goal is to, you know what I'm saying, 33% of our revenue this year coming from like food service. So it's, 50 HBCUs. That's what I'm going at. You know what I mean? That's the number that I'm putting out there right now that I want to, tackle down. 50
and
HBCUs.
We can do it.
Yeah.
Like we can do it. You know what I'm saying? Why not? You know what I'm saying? We have all these alumni. We have all these different people. This is the community. You know what I'm saying? Like we want to do that. Number two is just continue to build. You know what I'm saying? Build the velocity. You know what I'm saying? More of those units being scanned. You know what I'm saying? At the register, and make this the number one brand in the world. Like when it comes to plant-based, our goal is to be number one. I'm not here to be number two. And that's cool. That's what we want to do. We want to be number one. I'm gonna say this again. African Americans are the fastest growing population when it comes to veganism in the world today. We're number one. So therefore, a black-owned company, black-owned, woman-owned, HBCU graduates, you know what I'm saying, we're educated from this. We should be number one, and that's what we're going to go for. We're going to work hard. We shouldn't be, because we got to earn it. Right? I got to earn y'all trust. I got to continue to work. So we're going to continue to make great products. They're going to be great. But, we want to be number one in the African-American community. Number one in like fitness, because it's very, very big, because we're very big on, meal prepping and like how you eat. Like we know that, again, what you put into your system, what you're saying, like what you put in there. And then we want to also give back more to the Lupus Foundation. That's very, very big to us.
And
that's
cancer.
That's a big goal. And then we want to do more for like HBCUs. I really want us to give back, and not just to the Morgan, not to the Howard, not to the, Bowie where we went, but to all of them. We really, really want to give back to more HBCUs. And then lastly, Leah, I really want to educate more. I want to educate on the importance of black CPG companies and black buyers. I'm gonna tell you this quick story. I was on the phone today with a buyer. I won't mention her name because like we're still going through the process. But it was a black buyer, and I literally said on the phone, I said, "It's so good to see somebody like me." And he was like, "Thank you so much," because I think he was scared. He was shocked that I was not scared to say that on the phone, because there were other people from races on the phone, but that was the first black buyer I have seen when it comes to merchandise.
And I just looked at him like, I always do.
But people have to understand that, that in order to get into the grocery stores, you have to understand there's one person, you know what I'm saying, who is making that decision. Yeah. It goes off of data, something like that. But if that person's not African American, they don't understand all the food. I can tell you that we didn't get into a retailer that people ask me about all the time because this one buyer said, "Yo, me and my friends had your boneless wings and we didn't like them." Like what? First of all, I know they bomb. Okay, okay. Like I see the lines at FedEx Field every single week when we're there because we have like a partnership with FedEx Field and like NFL. So just that one person,
right?
She don't understand us,
right?
She's not. But to see,
but she's not vegan either.
She's not vegan. You know what I'm saying?
She doesn't eat plant-based
as well. But to see a black buyer, that is so, you know what I'm saying, so important. So I want to educate more people to, look into that field and just educate people about entrepreneurship so they know what the truth is.
Yeah.
Understand that this is not an overnight thing. This does not happen. There are people who don't know, when I was running up in here, you know what I'm saying, like dropping off burgers, doing all the things like that. People just think, oh, well, they went on something.
Overnight success, right?
Yep, slanging the burgers, slanging the burgers out the car. Yeah, and again, that's why it was important for me to, have you guys come in here because, again, I just remember, when y'all were DMV based and y'all hadn't been on TV and people didn't know y'all names, but maybe, so-and-so down the street had a burger on the side of the road and said it was good. So, again, I'm immensely proud of you guys. It's been so beautiful to watch the journey. I love black business. I love supporting HBCU grads. And so for me, it's just like I'm in awe of everything that you guys have done. So congratulations, first and foremost. But let people know, again, where they can get your burgers, where they can follow you guys, and let us know any other things y'all got going on, because I got a lot going on.
Yeah, so website, golegendary.com. Social media, go_legendary. If you are in the DMV area, you can go to Safeway. You can go to Whole Foods. You can go to Sprouts. You can go to some Targets. Our products are usually in the frozen section behind the glass, or they are slacked out in the refrigerated section. We are launching that. Bowie State University students will now be able to get our plant-based options inside of the dining hall, as well as we have Super Bowl coming up next week. If you are in Arizona, pull up on us. We'll be at the Biltmore Hotel.
And tell them where they can find us nationwide. We in almost 5,000 stores.
5,000 grocery stores nationwide.
Okay.
That goes to Publix, Ralph's, Sprouts, Acme, Safeway,
King's Market,
Balducci's. Man, thank you guys so much, man. And for every single buyer out there that, was patient with us and understood that we was growing. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We really, really appreciate it.
I got to shout out Mr. Brown. He was one of the first to pick us up. So we got to shout Mr. Brown out in our community.
What's the name of the store? Brown's Market, man. Shout out to Brown's Market.
Yes,
Brown's Market, thank you so much.
Black-owned market. Yes, go there.
Yes. Smith Dream Barbershop, which was one of the first barbershops that ever allowed us to do a pop-up out there. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. I mean, to all the black businesses, keep on going. But I would like to give a special shout out to Leah Lemonade right here, more than anything, because what y'all don't know is that we still get turned out from press. You know what I mean? Like, everybody doesn't just open up the door. Like, even when we got, you know what I'm saying, with Mark Cuban, everything like that, people are like people, and because it's so positive sometimes, and it may not be clickbait, you know what I'm saying, like the way that it look for you know what I'm saying, everything else, like, you know what I'm saying, doors are still, like, listen, like, we still knock on doors, like, we still got to kick down doors, we, you know what I'm saying, still got to go through the side window, fighting. And that's the thing, like, it's, believe me, nothing is, you know what I'm saying, all sweet. This is a constant fight every single day, and we're grinding for it every single day. So, Leah, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you. I really, really do. I mean that. You ain't do no faking. You ain't do no bluffing. You ain't leading on red and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? It's real. I mean, again, like, we deal with it. I mean, and if that's a part of the game, that's part of the game.
And I feel like we want to do that more, just educate entrepreneurs, because they think it's so easy. It's not easy.
It's not. Like I said, everybody on TikTok telling you leave your 9 to 5.
Exactly.
And listen, not everybody is meant to be an entrepreneur.
No, they're not.
And I am not. I tell people, I can grind if I got the 9 to 5. I can do everything else outside of the 9 to 5, but I need the 9 to 5. Okay,
I need all different types of people to make the world go round. Like, all of
absolutely.
Them matter. Everyone matters. It's not just the entrepreneurs, not just the 9 to 5. We all have to work together.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, of course, it was a no-brainer for me about y'all, because I think this, there are so many people in the DMV area who are entrepreneurs. There are so many young business owners who are trying to make it, trying to figure it out, have the next best idea, and don't know where to start. Want to go on Shark Tank, but don't know the process. Right. So it was important for me to have you guys guys with all the success that you've had to come back and pour into the community. So thank you guys again. Let everybody know your social media website so they can check you guys out.
Go_legendary. That is go_legendary. And then our website is www.golegendary.com. Golegendary.com. Golegendary.com.
All right, got you. Well, thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate y'all so much.
Thank you.
And they about to go make me some food, so I gotta go.
Yeah, we're making burgers right now.
Okay,
shout out Journey too. Shout out Journey.
I know Journey's in the building.
Yes.
Hey, Journey.
She on the side. She being shy. But yes, we about to go eat. So grab a cup, throw it back, and sip on all of that.